So when we talk about self-defense, a lot of people think about, okay, I'm going to knee him and then, groin and then headbutt him in the face. That's like thinking about medicine and well-being, like when you're talking about surgery, right? So what would be better, is thinking about, well, how do I maintain my diet and exercise so I don't end up in surgery? Do we agree? Now, does that mean you'll never need surgery? No, it doesn't. So, you want to make sure you have a good surgeon if you ever need that. And the self-defense analogy would be like, so having a good lifestyle would be like having a good lifestyle in terms of your well-being and health. You have a healthy diet, you have a safe peer group, you do safe activities. It's you're not hanging around people who are getting into violent encounters or involved in drugs. That's one thing. But then the next thing would be like the medical analogy would be like, okay, I start having symptoms, right? It's like, I'm getting a little bit of a headache. I got a little sniffle, right? Those are like the early indicators that, hey, something's not quite right with your body, okay? Well, are there early indicators like that before you're in a full-blown illness? Is there an equivalent for self-defense, for physical self-defense? Well, there is. Before somebody throws a punch at you, most people aren't just like walking down the street and saying, just punch you. Most violence is social. Most violence has some what we'll call pre-combat, pre-fight indicators. So how could we tell, just like when I get a little sniffle, it means that, hey, look, I probably want to pop some vitamin C to protect myself against whatever's coming on. Hey, I have a little headache. What pre-fight indicators are that sort of let us know, hey, I want to start popping, some little protective things to make sure that this doesn't get worse. So a lot of these are going to be intuitive for you. So I may be teaching you stuff and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense, I know that. Oh, that makes sense, I know that. But knowing and making a practice of seeing it out there is different. So developing that as an awareness and taking appropriate steps is important. So what's a pre-combat indicator? So I'll just ask you. So when people are about to get into a fight, are their hands relaxed and loose, or are they starting to clench? Most people are going to say clench, and they'd be right. Are their eyebrows relaxed, or are they either down or up? Well, they're usually not relaxed, right? How about their jaw? Is it loose? Are they just kind of talking calmly? Or can you see the tension or start to grit their teeth, or maybe even widen their mouth a little snarl? How about the muscles around the face? Again, that tension. If you see someone retreat their dominant hand and start to pull back their dominant hand, that's a pre-fight indicator, right? If you see them look around to see what's called a witness check, a lot of times that's a pre-fight indicator, right? So you want to be paying attention to those things. So all of a sudden you see someone's tensing up, they're getting louder maybe, or they go dead quiet. Those are both indicators. But if they have a nice even voice, it's usually not a pre-fight indicator. Now that doesn't mean they're not going to be able to fight. Some people can go from a very calm voice into punching you, but it wouldn't be a symptom, right? If someone's talking to you and they're talking calmly, it doesn't mean that it's not indicative that they're going to be fighting you. Just like I don't have a sore throat, that doesn't mean that I'm going to get sick, right? But I don't have a sore throat, but I do have running eyes, and my joints are aching, and I feel tired. Well, okay, so just because you didn't have a sore throat doesn't mean you're not going to get sick. Just because someone doesn't raise their voice doesn't mean you're not going to get into a fight. Does that make sense? So, if I all of a sudden start to notice, hey, there's 2 or 3 pre-fight indicators here, I'm going to be right on guard. Okay, where's my exits? What can I do? What are the barriers that I can put between me and this possibly violent person? I want to sort of mentally prepare, okay, what am I going to do to this guy if he moves aggressively towards me? Where are my weapons? Where are my allies? Where are my exits? What can I do to get out right now before this gets bad? What help can I garner before this gets bad? Is it time for me to run? So when we're talking about pre-fight indicators, we're talking about what is their body doing? What is their breathing doing? Is that calm and slow, or is it getting rapid? What's their tone doing? What are their hands doing? What's their facial expression doing? Are they starting to shake? Are they patting? Doing a weapon check. If you see people doing that, sometimes that indicates to you that they might have a weapon. So all these things should play into your picture of self-defense about how to stay safe before the first punch is even thrown.